Last week, Ugandans were treated to a surprise news of a joined UPDF and Congo's FARDC forces, airstrikes and artillery bombing of the ADF rebel 4 major camps in North Kivu. Scores of ADF rebel fighters are reported to have died in the surprise raids, while others sustained severe injuries. Since then, President Museveni's move to deploy in Congo after consultations with his counterpart, President Felix Tshisekedi of DRC, to have joined forces pursue the ADF rebels in Congo without Parliament's approval, as required by the law, has drawn criticism from a section of opposition politicians, which the Minister for ICT, Dr. Baryomunsi, has downplayed.
Their calls saying that the UPDF should immediately withdraw from the DRC. Particularly, I saw Dr. Kiza Besije and the Honorable Kwago, the mayor, sort of acting as apologists of ADF, accusing the government that we are using strong force to hit at terrorists, and that UPDF should withdraw from DRC. And I was taken aback. For a person who has aspired to become a president of this country to sympathize with the terrorists who came and killed people and threw bombs and killed people, and many others got injured, but you are sympathetic to those terrorists, and you are blaming the government for using firepower at those terrorists.
Dr. Baryomunsi blames opposition politicians of falling short of differentiating politics from a global war against terrorism.
So it's an indication as if those politicians are happy with the work of ADF, and we take strong exception to that kind of stance, because the attack on ADF is not a partisan issue, but the government is trying to secure Ugandans of all shades of life. And therefore, it is really shameful and scandalous that the leader could, at the moment, in the heat of these terrorist attacks, try to sympathize with the terrorists, and you start blaming the government for trying to secure Ugandans.
Whereas the opposition MPs and opposition party leaders fault President Museveni of overstepping the mandate of Parliament to approve any foreign deployment of UPDF, Dr. Baryomunsi downplays the argument, saying the deployment was made in total observation of the legal provisions.
Article 124 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, from which I am reading, is here. It says declaration of a state of war, and it says in the Article 124(1) that the President may, with the approval of Parliament, given by resolution supported by not less than 2/3 of all the members of Parliament, declare that a state of war exists between Uganda and any other country. So I want you to reflect on the kind of operation going on in Congo. Does it fit into this constitutional provision? Has the President declared that there is a state of war between Uganda and the DRC, which requires Parliament to give approval by 2/3? The answer is no.
However, UBC's investigative desk has established that President Museveni deployed in Congo in accordance to the UN Convention on Hot Pursuit. The term hot pursuit refers to the urgent and direct pursuit of a criminal suspect by law enforcement officers or by belligerents under international rules of engagement for military forces. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.